A couple weeks ago, I guess, a few weeks ago at this point. No, it was actually right after the election, so it was a few weeks ago. I made a video on a review, or at least a explanation of my experience at the Spalding University's MFA program. I believe they've named it the Naslund-Mann Creative Writing Program. I think they called it after the women who started it and ran it. And I talked about my experience there, which I'd been kind of quiet about because I was just sort of used to having that experience in the academic world. How if you have conservative politics at all, you need to shut up. You're not allowed to express them. You have to shut up about it, which I didn't really mind because, as I've said before, I don't think the classroom or the school is a place to be spouting politics. I think, the school's a place for knowledge and open exchange of ideas. Your own personal politics, that's something for elsewhere. But of course, liberals will never abide by that. They spout their politics everywhere, and the academic world is their feeding ground for it. They fester these ideas there before blasting them out into the public. But then I mentioned, I'm just kind of giving a brief recap. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. But after the, I had a whole experience there when I was at Spalding, just having to quietly, abide by all these people shouting their politics in my face and knowing that I better not dare reveal what my politics were, But after the election, it was the morning after, I went to this alumni forum that we have for alums of the program to network and share ideas and share opportunities and so forth. And they were just all posting insults against Trump, or the main guys like posting, I know a lot of people are hurting and, it's a time to maybe just, just encouraging things. And I'm like, would you ever have posted that if Harris had won? If Harris had won and somebody posted something like that for Trump fans, you wouldn't have abided by that at all. They'd have been piled on in a heartbeat. Now, all I did was point out that they were being political. They piled on me like you wouldn't believe. They told me to sit down, shut up. No one's feeling sorry for you, you little blankety blank. We're feeling sorry for the women who are dying for lack of health care, meaning women aren't allowed to kill their babies. Boo hoo hoo. Young children aren't allowed to mutilate their genitals. This is a problem. Oh my gosh. And I wouldn't get political with them. I'd just say, look what you're doing. Your response to me for pointing out that we should be politics free is a symptom of the problem. And they simply wouldn't have it. And the guy who ran the program was giving me warnings, warning, if you do this again, you're out of here. And so they totally ousted me from that community. It was like a week or so where it went by, right? Because I did the video, I talked about it on the live stream there, and it was like a whole week after that. I did the video though, I talked about it on the live stream, and I cut it out from the video and I put it as my experience at Spalding University. A few days after that, I get an email from the head of the program, which is weird because she says, so I saw your video, which is, first of all, how did you happen to see my video? I didn't share it with anybody. I didn't make this video and go back and be like, nah, look what I did about you on the internet. No, And my channel, it's a nice channel. It's 17,000 subs. It's nothing to sneeze at, but it's not a power megawatt channel that reaches the world. When you say something, everybody knows it. It's not even big enough to really show up like that in Google search results. So I have no idea how they came about, unless someone around there was stalking me, or someone around there was still trying to keep tabs on me or something. I don't know. So no clue how how the video was brought to their attention, but apparently it was. And she wrote this email, which was so, I want to say political, but I mean political in terms of being very cautious, that kind of thing. In no place did she ever admit that I was treated in a horrible way. And I mean, she was there. She admitted seeing everything in the forum, all the things that were done to me. She never apologized. No, she didn't do it to me personally, but she never apologized on behalf of the school. She didn't even admit that I was treated in any way. She's like, well, if you want to come back to the community, whatever. It was just like one of these emails that had to be written. And that's what it felt like. I didn't bother responding because no, you don't treat me vilely and then write me this ridiculous vanilla, if wishy-washy email about, maybe let's just all just come back together. No. And I wanted this out there too. I wanted to say it because also I would see students from the program show up on that video and they would leave these comments and they would start bullying me again. Now I just hid them all because I'm not going to let you bully me on my own platform. This 14-minute rant is blah, blah, blah. And I would look up the person's name and they'll show up in the program, forum or whatever. So they're even like, they can't handle it. If you have conservative politics, you are to shut up about it. They don't want me back. They want me gone, but they want me to shut up about being gone. And I'm not going to do that. I don't wish revenge on the program or anything, but I really think that people need to know if other people, specifically for the Spalding MFA program is the one I'm talking about. That's the one I had the most experience with, but this is true for so many academic programs out there. And I think people who are wanting to go into higher education for the humanities or the fine arts, writing is considered a fine art, higher education for it, graduate programs and whatnot, you really need to consider where you're going. And I would say go to private universities, but Spalding is a private university. Kaiser was a private university when I worked for them, and they were crazy. The only places I know where I think you really wouldn't experience this is some of the Christian universities, and not even all of them. I did attend Franciscan University, Steubenville, for a time online, and that was a wonderful experience. So I think, they're out there, but I wanted people to know, especially if they were considering Spalding University's MFA program, that, hey, what are your politics? If they're in line with the program's politics, you'll be fine. If they're not in line with it and you're willing just to shut up and listen to them spew their politics in your face, but you just be quiet and don't ever say anything about yours, then you'd be fine. But that's not good for your mental health, right? And yeah, the program has learned nothing. Apparently someone was bothered enough by me having my review out there that they wanted to try to, see if they could shut that down, either from the students bullying me in the chat or from the director emailing me. But no, that's not going to happen. You've learned nothing. Admit that your program has a problem. It's not the end of the world problem. It can be fixed. Admit that you're not the opening, comparing, compassionate, caring program that you think you are to all different types of people of different political persuasions, as evidenced by the way I was treated, are not welcome there. They're not welcome there, and that's something you need to fix. Admit it. Admit it and fix it. No, can't have that. You're a wrong thinker. We want you out of here. We want you to shut up about being out of here. So, a little update just on the Spalding MFA issue there. Wanted to get that out.